Today we are diving deep into a really special book, Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. This isn't just a book, it's a transcript of a conversation that emerged from a moment of total crisis in his life, and it offers a radical, and I mean radical, new way of looking at life, God, and the incredible power you have to shape your own world. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that weird little paradox in life? It's like the more you desperately chase after something, whether it's love or money or that big career success, the faster it seems to run away from you. You search and search for the right person, but they never show up. You work yourself to the bone for financial freedom, but you just end up more stressed out. It's a frustrating cycle, right? Well, according to this book, that's not just a string of bad luck. It's actually a sign that we've been misunderstanding a fundamental law of how the universe really operates. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by unpacking that very paradox of desire. Then we'll redefine our whole relationship with God and the universe. From there, we'll get into the practical stuff, how your reality is actually made. We'll look at the purpose of pain and love through a completely new lens. And finally, we'll get to the heart of it all, the ultimate choice you have in every single moment.
Okay, so to get this whole thing, we have to start with the biggest idea of all, God. And the book asks us to do something pretty challenging, to just for a moment set aside everything we've ever been taught and come at this with a fresh, open mind.
This slide really lays out the huge shift in perspective. On the left, you've got the common belief, the one many of us grew up with, a God who is separate, up in the sky, judging us, demanding worship, and punishing our mistakes. It's a relationship based on fear. But the book's perspective, on the right, is completely different. It suggests God isn't a person at all, but an energy, the very fabric of life that is everything. This energy has no needs, it doesn't judge, it only offers unconditional love. And the biggest jump? We're not separate from it, we are one with it. There's no fiery hell waiting for us, only the hells we sometimes create for ourselves right here on Earth, through our own thinking.
I think this analogy is just beautiful because it makes this idea of oneness so clear. Imagine God is this vast, endless ocean, and each one of us, we're like a wave. For a little while, a wave has its own unique shape, its own identity, it looks separate. But its essence, what it's made of, is and always will be the ocean. We might look like individuals, but at our core, we are all made of the exact same stuff.
So you might be thinking, okay, if I'm divine, why don't I feel that way? Why does life feel so hard? The book has a fascinating take on this. It says we chose to forget. Think of it like a grand role-playing game. If you started the game knowing you were the all-powerful creator, where would the fun be? Where would the challenge be? You chose to forget your true nature so you could fully immerse yourself in the human experience with all its ups and downs. The point isn't to suffer, but to go on this amazing adventure of slowly, joyfully, remembering who you really are.
So, to quickly recap where we are, we've kind of thrown out the old rulebook about a distant, judgmental God. Instead, we're working with this idea that we are all expressions of one loving, creative energy. We've just forgotten it on purpose to make the game of life more interesting. So if that's the what, the big question is, how does the game actually work? That brings us to our next part, the Creator's Toolkit.
Now this next idea, it's a big one. It's probably the most empowering and maybe the most challenging idea in the entire book. It says that you are constantly creating your reality. Everything, every moment, through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. This means that life isn't just a random series of events happening to you while you stand by as a helpless victim. No, it's happening through you as an active, powerful creator.
And look, the first reaction to that is usually, whoa, hold on a second. I definitely did not create this illness or this debt or this heartbreak. And the book gets that. It clarifies that it's not our fleeting surface-level wishes that have the power. It's our deep, underlying, often unconscious beliefs, what it calls our sponsoring thoughts. These are the core beliefs running the show in the background, acting like powerful magnets that pull our life experiences to us.
Let's break this down, because this is where the rubber meets the road. You can say out loud, I want more money all day long, but if deep down you have a sponsoring belief that money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy, or I don't deserve to be wealthy, well, which signal do you think the universe is going to listen to? The whisper or the shout? Same thing with love. You can say, I want a loving partner, but if your core belief is, I'll always be abandoned, or I'm not lovable, your reality will reflect that deeper belief every single time.
So we have these three primary tools we're always using to create. First up is thought. This is the initial blueprint, the idea you hold in your mind.
Then comes the word. This is a thought spoken out loud, which gives it more energy, more power, more form. And finally, there's the deed, the action. This is when you bring the creation into the physical world. The key here is that for this to work effectively, all three have to be in alignment.
And this right here, this is the need trap. This explains that paradox we started with. Why does desperately wanting something seem to push it away? Because when you are in a state of needing, I need love, I need money, you are shouting to the universe from a place of lack. Your entire being is focused on the fact that you do not have it. And the universe, which is basically a giant impartial mirror, just reflects your state back to you. It gives you more of the experience of not having.
The solution, according to the book, is a total game changer. It's to flip the order of how we approach life. Most of us live by have, do, be. When I have the perfect job, then I will do the work I enjoy, and then I will be happy. It's totally backwards. The true order of creation is be, do, have. You have to start with being. First, you be happy. You be abundant. You embody the feeling of security and joy right now with what you have. From that state of being, you will naturally do things a happy, abundant person does. And then, as a natural result, you will have the things that match that state of being.
So let's take a quick pause and recap. We're not victims, we are the creators of our reality. Our deepest beliefs are the magnets, and we use our thoughts, words, and actions as our tools. And the secret sauce is to shift our focus from have, do, be to be, do, have, to embody the state we desire first. Now, with that framework in place, let's see how it applies to two of the most intense human experiences, pain and love.
First off, the book makes a really important distinction between pain and suffering. Pain is just a physical sensation. It's a signal. You touch a hot stove, your nerves send a message to your brain, hey, that's hot, that's pain. It's neutral data. Suffering, that's a whole different ballgame. Suffering is the mental story we tell ourselves about the pain. It's the judgment, the resistance, the thought that this shouldn't be happening to me. The pain might be a fact of life, but the suffering, that's a choice.
Here's another way to look at it. Think of your life like a movie, and you are the hero. Now, what would happen if the hero's journey was just smooth sailing from beginning to end? It would be the most boring movie ever. The challenges, the setbacks, the things we call bad, they aren't flaws in the script. They're the plot points. They are the very things that give you, the hero, the opportunity to show up and demonstrate what you're made of. Your courage, your compassion, your wisdom, your love. Every single event is perfectly designed for your soul's evolution.
Now let's talk about love, because the book's perspective on relationships is, well, it's revolutionary. This quote really says it all. The whole idea of finding your other half or someone to complete you is turned completely on its head. The purpose of a relationship isn't to find a missing piece of yourself in someone else. It's to become a whole, complete person on your own, and then find another whole, complete person to share that amazing completeness with.
And you can really see the difference here. False love, the two half circles model, is based on neediness. I need you to make me happy. It leads to control, expectations, and a constant fear of loss. But true love, the partnership of two whole circles, is based on choice. I don't need you, but I choose you to share my life and my happiness with. It's about freedom, acceptance, and a deep knowing that real love can't be lost, because it's not something you own, it's a state you share. And all of this, these ideas about God as energy, about creating our reality, about the true purpose of pain and love, it all brings us to the very core of the message. It boils down to one final, ultimate choice that defines our entire experience of life.
We spend so much of our lives asking, what do I want to get? What do I want to have? We make endless to-do lists and chase after goals. But the book suggests that this is the wrong question entirely. The most powerful question you can ever ask yourself is, who do I choose to be in this moment? Because your state of being is the cause of everything. What you have is simply the effect. Your identity creates your reality, not the other way around.
So what's the point of this whole game then? Well, it's not to learn something you don't already know, but to remember the divine being you've forgotten you are. It's not about trying to become someone better, but about fully experiencing the magnificence you already are, right now. Life isn't a race to some far-off destination. It's about the pure joy of creation in the process itself, and it can only ever happen in one place, the now.
And if this all feels a bit big and abstract,
The book gives us this one beautiful, simple question to act as our compass. In any moment of confusion or anger or fear or decision, just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself this one thing. What would love do now? And then just listen. The answer will guide your thoughts, your words, and your actions perfectly.
And this brings us to the book's final powerful call to action. Stop searching for yourself as if you're some lost treasure that needs to be found. You are not discovering who you are creating who you are in every single moment with every single choice. So don't worry about who you were 5 minutes ago. That person is gone. The only thing that matters is this. Who do you choose to be right now? Decide that, and then go and create it. That is your purpose, that is your power, and that is your freedom.